What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. We've often said, go woke, go broke. We often said that Bud Light would have to give away their beer for free, but we never thought that they'd have to give away their company for free. Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch is officially selling itself on the open market. Check this out, breaking just seconds ago. Anheuser-Busch is now selling off its beer brands, spinning off members of its family, its beer family, for pennies on the dollar. The collapse has now finally begun. The anti-American beer giant will be selling 8 craft beer brands to Tilray. What is Tilray? Well, it's another beverage company, a Canadian cannabis company, in fact. Is going to be purchasing Shock Top, I know that one. Breckenridge Brewery, I know that. Blue Point Brewing Company, 10 Barrel Brewing Company, Red Hook Brewing, Winmer Brewing Company, Square Mile Cider Company, and Highball Energy. I don't know Highball Energy. I know every other one of those brands. Do you? The deal is expected to be finalized in September for $85 million. Listen, it sounds like a lot of money, but that's not a lot of money. Bud Light, the brand itself, lost $387 million in this last quarter. In addition, the beer brands Anheuser-Busch will be selling off the brand's employees, breweries, and associated brew pubs. Oh, it's just a disaster. Check this out. Tilray Brands, who, by the way, is a global cannabis lifestyle company. I just can't get over this. The Budweiser is selling off to a weed company. Okay, so here's the video they just tweeted. Tilray announces agreement to acquire 8 beer beverage brands from Anheuser-Busch, fueling Tilray's future in the U.S. craft beer industry. Well, there you go. They have a lot of brands there. Looks like they have quite a few. I know some of those brands. So here you go. These are the brands you can see here on screen. These are the brands that you probably know of, right? You probably know some of these brands. Definitely know Shock Top. That's really widely available. Breckenridge Brewery, that's widely available. Blue Point, also. Red Hook, come on, you got to know some of these. These are massive brands. These are big brands. You can find these brands on tap at a ton of bars because of the distribution of Budweiser, and now they are selling them for a song. $85 million for all of those brands, for 10 of these brands, these craft brewing brands. Oh my God, we've hit a new low. Dylan Mulvaney is the brand destroyer. The brand destroyer. Look at the Budweiser ticker here. Check this out. I mean, you are just cratering at this point. And they're never going to, listen, again, it's going to get to a point where Budweiser itself, which has lost its king of beer status, which has lost the families that started Budweiser, the Anheuser-Busch heir, Billy Busch is his name. He said that the founders of the company would be rolling over in their grave if they were able to see the Dylan Mulvaney partnership take place. That has cost the company $27 billion. So $85 million is just like a drop in the bucket. It's a penny on the dollar. It's a quarter penny on the dollar to the absolute destruction of their brand here. They are in it's true panic time now for Bud Light. It's true panic time. And why don't I feel sorry for them? Well, I don't feel sorry for them because, one, they didn't listen. This brand did not listen to the incredibly smart people that came beforehand. Budweiser had the most iconic ad campaigns. With me growing up, man, the Budweiser frogs, the what's up guys on the telephone, like these were iconic ads that appealed to men, that appealed to their client base, that appealed to beer drinkers. And they just threw it all in the trash because it was fratty and out of touch. These monsters. And now you have the heirs of the entire fortune for Anheuser-Busch saying that Billy Busch, 62, lamented at the failed PR stunts his successors undertook with the trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney. He said his late father would be rolling over in their graves. Adolphus Busch and August Busch Jr. Were they alive today? Check this out.
Where we are today for a minute. You must have strong opinions about the
Dylan Mulvaney campaign.
Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney campaign.
I think my family, my ancestors would have rollen over in their grave.
Yes.
They were very patriotic. They loved this country and what it stood for. They believed that transgender, gays, that sort of thing was all a very personal issue. They love this country because it is a free country and people are allowed to do what they want. But it was never meant to be on a beer can and never meant to be pushed in people's faces. So they would have, they would have never marketed their brands that way. As you know, AB was one of the greatest marketers ever in any business. And they were incredible with what they came out with: the Clydesdales, the frogs, the lizards, all the different promotions they had, all the different advertising they had. And the last thing they would have done was to get as controversial as they did, as InBev has with Dylan Mulvaney advertising.
They're turning the frickin' frogs gay! Alex Jones, right again. Oh, man. He said that his ancestors would be rolling over in their graves if they saw this. Now, Bud Light is no longer in his family. They sold it. You sold out, dude. You sold out. You took the money and you ran. And then you left a great American brand to the predations of these scummy socialist Europeans. A Belgian company called InBev actually owns the Anheuser-Busch brand, and now, of course, they are selling it off for dime store weed dispensaries. Look at these. These are big brands. You know these brands. What happens when you get acquired, right? So this is the original Adolphus Busch. He built the legendary company. He's German, obviously. That's where he got his brewing background. He created this brand from absolutely nothing. Became the largest beer brand in the world. Members of the Busch clan became very influential in America during the 20th century. Here is Billy Busch Jr., Billy's great-grandfather, and Adolphus's grandson, walking alongside President Truman. Hey, that's a big deal. Look at that. They're at the White House. Now Dylan Mulvaney's at the White House. Not anyone associated with the Anheuser-Busch brand. You see how those things turn? See how society turns on itself? They were patriots, right? This August Busch Jr. was a colonel in the U.S. military in World War II. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Total Chad. Total Chad. And they lived in this beautiful farm. Commanded a beer empire worth billions. Now it's up in flames. The empire survived prohibition. Isn't that interesting? It survived the banning of alcohol, but it couldn't survive these two dorks. These two absolute dorks. The jackwagons of wokeism, the Trojan horse of wokeism that was wheeled into the Anheuser-Busch family because they were acquired by European socialists and they wanted to hit their ESG score, and they brought in these two complete chodes. This is Alyssa Heinerscheid, and this is a guy named Daniel Blake. They were both fired. Alyssa Heinerscheid famously said that she hated the Bud Light customer, that it was fratty and out of touch. So she did this to the brand. And now the brand has to just essentially sell itself for pennies on the dollar, which is all they're worth. Their sales have plunged by 14%. They're firing all their staff, and that's the real tragedy here. The real tragedy here are the people that just wanted to make beer and didn't want to be involved in any type of hyper-partisan politics with their brand. Because some people do politics for a living. Some people do this for a living, and they got the thick skin. We can take it. This is what I choose to do for a living, right? I choose this. Some people don't. Some people just want to go and brew beer and grow beards and live a happy, quiet life. And now those people are being fired en masse or sold off lock, stock, and barrel to weed companies. What a humiliation. Shame on the entire Bud Light brand, their dirty European overlords, the family that sold out to these people, a great American empire. You should have never done that. And now your punishment will be watching the entire empire collapse under the predictably stupid decisions of said socialists and wokesters. And too bad, because you don't get to build a brand like this ever again. But we take great joy in watching it all happen as a giant warning sign hanging from the tree. Abandon all hope, ye who go woke. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to end communism. See ya.